Did you know that the average adult over 60 quietly loses between 3 and 8% of their muscle mass every single decade, and most people have no idea it is happening until standing up from a chair becomes a real struggle? Recent research reveals that this silent thief now affects 1 in 9 older adults worldwide. Rates climb higher after 70 and cross 40% past 80. Today I will walk you through one nutrient-dense food that, used the right way, can help seniors rebuild muscle, protect independence, and quietly reverse the worst of this decline. Stay with me because the food I reveal at the end has surprised even my most skeptical patients, and the science behind it has been hiding in plain sight for years. Before I reveal it, comment below with the one daily activity you have noticed getting harder, such as carrying groceries or climbing stairs. I will be replying to each one personally. Let me explain exactly what sarcopenia is, because the term confuses most of my patients when they first hear it. Sarcopenia is the gradual loss of skeletal muscle mass, strength, and function that happens with age. Think of your muscles like a savings account at a bank. After your 40th birthday, money quietly disappears through small automatic withdrawals, and most people never check the balance until it is too low. Research shows that after age 60, those withdrawals grow larger, and they accelerate again past 70. Here is what happens inside your body when sarcopenia begins. Your muscle fibers shrink, especially the fast twitch fibers that give you power for sudden moves. Your nerve signals slow down, so brain and muscles no longer communicate cleanly. Hormones like testosterone, growth hormone, and insulin-like growth factor all begin to decline. Chronic low-grade inflammation, sometimes called inflammaging, damages muscle proteins faster than your body can rebuild them. Studies found that sarcopenia affects 10 to 16% of older adults globally, 20 to 30% between ages 60 and 80, and over 40% above 80. But here is the shocking part most people do not know. Sarcopenia is still not officially classified as a disease in many medical systems. Many family doctors skip the screening step entirely. Many seniors leave appointments without ever being told they are losing muscle right now. Left untreated, sarcopenia follows a predictable downhill path. Walking speed drops first, grip strength declines next, balance worsens, and finally fall risk skyrockets. Recent CDC data from 2024 confirmed that more than 43,000 Americans aged 65 and older died from falls. Sarcopenia also doubles the chance of needing long-term care and raises fracture risk in ways that can steal your independence. This is not a future worry. For many of you watching right now, this is happening today, silently, in the background of your life. Let me tell you about a woman named Eleanor, who is 71 years old. Eleanor came to my clinic 2 years ago after a bathroom fall left her with a bruised hip. Her real complaint was not the bruise. It was that she could no longer lift her 2-year-old grandson, and she had to ask her husband to open jars each evening. Within 6 months, Eleanor lost 7 pounds of muscle from her legs alone. Her physical therapist measured it with a simple leg press test, and the numbers shocked her. She had been walking less to avoid pain, which caused her muscles to shrink faster, which made her walk even less. A vicious triangle that so many seniors fall into without realizing it. Her family doctor offered a cane and a pamphlet. No one mentioned nutrition at all. After 3 months of doing nothing different, Eleanor felt weaker than before. Then her daughter sent her a short video about protein and aging, and Eleanor scheduled a second opinion. Within 8 weeks of changing one breakfast each day, Eleanor was lifting her grandson again, and her grip strength rose by nearly 20% in a follow-up test. Comment below if you have felt weaker in your hands or legs than you did a year ago, and share your age, because this is more common than anyone admits. Let me tell you about a man named Arthur who is 76 years old and believed oatmeal with berries was the perfect senior breakfast. Arthur ate it daily for 5 years and watched his strength quietly fade. His doctor told him it was just aging. A physical therapist told him to lift weights, but Arthur had no energy left for the gym. When he sat in my office, his blood work showed he was protein deficient, despite eating 2,000 calories daily. His muscles were starving in the middle of a feast. Within 12 weeks of adding 2 whole eggs to his morning routine along with short daily resistance walks, Arthur reported walking up his long driveway without stopping to rest. His thigh circumference grew by nearly a full inch, and he joined a senior fitness class for the first time in his life. Let me tell you about a third patient, a retired teacher named Marlene, age 78, who had been told by her orthopedic surgeon that knee replacement was her only real option. Her leg strength had dropped so low that climbing stairs had become impossible. Within 4 months of applying the exact plan I am about to share with you, Marlene postponed her surgery because her leg strength had returned enough to climb stairs without pain. Before I reveal the hero food and the 4 companion nutrients that make it work, I need to cover what is actively making sarcopenia worse for seniors across America. Something most doctors simply do not explain clearly enough. Here is the hidden disaster that many older adults walk into every morning without realizing it. Skipping a high-quality protein-rich breakfast is silently destroying muscle in adults over 60. Research from the Buck Institute for Research on Aging in 2022 showed that muscle protein breakdown accelerates within hours of waking when no protein is consumed. Seniors who skip breakfast lose measurably more lean mass over 3 years than seniors who eat a protein-rich morning meal. Here is what happens inside your body on those skipped mornings. Overnight, your body runs on stored fuel and begins breaking down muscle tissue for amino acids. By morning, you are already behind. Breakfast is your first real chance to flip the switch from breakdown to building. But here is the shocking part that most wellness blogs still get wrong. Relying on toast, cereal, or oatmeal alone is nearly useless for muscle preservation in older adults. Those foods are mostly carbohydrates that spike blood sugar and miss the leucine threshold your muscles need to even start rebuilding. Leucine is a specific amino acid that acts like a key unlocking muscle protein synthesis. Without enough leucine, even a large breakfast produces almost no muscle-building signal at all. Let me warn you about another quiet danger that affects millions of older adults every single day. Many common medications, including some blood pressure pills and certain diabetes drugs, blunt appetite when taken without food. Seniors who take them often eat far too little without noticing the pattern. A 2024 review published in the journal Nutrients confirmed that low protein intake is the single strongest dietary risk factor for sarcopenia progression, and here is what they do not tell you at the pharmacy counter. Most seniors eat their largest meal at dinner, which is the wrong strategy for muscle preservation. Research from the journal Frontiers in Nutrition showed that distributing protein evenly across 3 meals, about 25 to 30 grams each, produces up to 25% more muscle protein synthesis than eating the same amount all at once. But here is the shocking part that surprises nearly every patient I work with. Cutting dietary fat and cholesterol entirely by switching to egg whites or skinless chicken breast can rob your hormones of the raw materials they need to do their job. Testosterone and other anabolic hormones are built from fats and cholesterol. Seniors who slash these foods thinking they are being healthy often quietly weaken their own internal chemistry. Comment I am guilty if you have been doing any of these. Do not worry, you are about to learn exactly how to fix it. Now we reach the heart of today's video. The single nutrient-dense food I have seen change more of my senior patients than any prescription I have ever written is the humble whole egg. And I will show you exactly why a single whole egg outperforms nearly every other common breakfast option for seniors trying to defeat sarcopenia. Eggs sit at the intersection of 3 things that aging muscle desperately needs. They contain all 9 essential amino acids in the exact ratios your body can actually use. They deliver a meaningful dose of leucine in a small, easy-to-digest package. And they include cholesterol and healthy fats that quietly support hormone production in tissues most seniors never think about. Number 5 on my list, the foundation that powers everything else, is whole eggs. Do you know what happens inside your muscles within minutes of eating 2 whole eggs for breakfast? Amino acids enter your bloodstream within 30 minutes. By 90 minutes, Leucine levels in your blood reach the threshold needed to fully activate the mTOR pathway, the master switch that turns on muscle protein synthesis. A landmark 2017 study from the University of Illinois showed that eating whole eggs after resistance exercise produced 40% more muscle protein synthesis than eating egg whites with the exact same protein content. The yolk is not the enemy you have been warned about. The yolk is where most of the vitamins, the choline, and the fat-soluble muscle helpers actually live. Eggs deliver about 6 grams of complete protein per large egg, roughly 500 milligrams of choline, and one of the most bioavailable muscle-building packages found in any single food on the planet. A 2024 review confirmed that for most older adults, dietary cholesterol has minimal effect on blood cholesterol, and the benefits of choline and complete protein outweigh the small risks by a wide margin. Here is what happens when you cook and serve eggs the right way for muscle preservation. Aim for 2 to 3 whole eggs per day, cooked soft rather than hard-boiled if you have digestion issues, paired with vegetables and a small portion of complex carbohydrates. Soft scrambled eggs with spinach and olive oil are a near-perfect senior breakfast, providing protein, leucine, healthy fats, and a touch of vitamin D from the olive oil. Within 2 to 4 weeks, most patients notice steadier morning energy and better balance when walking across the room. Within 12 weeks, measurable grip strength gains often appear on standard testing. Within 6 months, many seniors report climbing stairs the way they did 5 or 10 years earlier. Number 4 on my countdown is salmon or other oily fish, because omega-3 fatty acids directly calm the chronic inflammation that accelerates muscle breakdown. Research shows that older adults who ate fatty fish twice per week had 8% greater muscle mass than peers who avoided fish entirely. Here is what happens inside your cells when omega-3s arrive through your diet. They reduce immune signals that damage muscle fibers day after day, and they improve the sensitivity of muscle cells to insulin, helping amino acids enter the cell faster and get put to work. Historical evidence is striking and worth mentioning here. Communities along the Mediterranean coast and in coastal Japan have eaten fish daily for generations and consistently outlive inland populations with similar genetics and similar workloads. Practical application for you. Aim for 2 to 3 servings per week, each about the size of your palm. Wild-caught salmon has the highest omega-3 content, but sardines and mackerel are excellent, more affordable choices that deliver the same benefits. Pair fish with lemon and fresh herbs rather than heavy cream sauces, because seniors with weaker digestion tolerate simple preparations best. Within 1 month of adding fatty fish twice a week, you may notice reduced joint stiffness when you wake up in the morning. Within 3 months, measurable improvements in walking speed have been documented in published research. Number 3 is Greek yogurt or cottage cheese, full-fat versions, because these foods deliver slow-digesting protein that keeps muscle rebuilding active for hours after the meal is finished. Studies found that older adults who added 20 grams of slow-digesting protein before bed gained more lean mass over 12 weeks than those who skipped this simple step. Nighttime recovery matters because growth hormone peaks during your deepest sleep cycles, and having amino acids available during that window makes rebuilding far more efficient. Traditional Bulgarian and Romanian centenarians consumed large amounts of full-fat dairy for most of their long lives, and modern research now confirms what those cultures knew intuitively for centuries. Use a half cup of plain whole milk Greek yogurt or full-fat cottage cheese as a quiet evening snack, sweetened only with a few fresh berries. Within weeks, you may notice less overnight stiffness and steadier energy upon waking the next morning. Number 2 is cooked spinach or other dark leafy greens, because they supply magnesium and folate, 2 nutrients that quietly support muscle contraction and nerve signaling through every move you make. Magnesium deficiency is shockingly common among older adults, and it directly contributes to muscle cramps, weakness, and poor sleep quality. Research from 2024 estimated that nearly half of all adults over 60 fall short of the recommended magnesium intake in their regular diet. Here is what happens when you restore magnesium through your food choices over time. Aim for 1 to 2 cups of cooked spinach, kale, or Swiss chard per day. Cook them because cooking reduces oxalates that interfere with mineral absorption in older kidneys. Pair leafy greens with bell peppers or sliced tomato to boost iron absorption while you eat. Within 2 weeks of consistent intake, expect fewer muscle cramps, especially at night. A steadier walking pace tends to arrive by week 4. Now for the #1 nutrient-dense food combination for defeating sarcopenia in seniors, the one that pairs perfectly with whole eggs and produces the most dramatic results I have ever seen in my clinical practice. The answer is a strategic breakfast plate that combines eggs with a small portion of lean animal protein, because together they unlock the full leucine threshold your aging muscles demand every single day. Let me explain why this simple upgrade outperforms everything else on the list. Research shows that adults over 60 need roughly 3 grams of leucine per meal to fully stimulate muscle protein synthesis, and that is about 50% more than a younger adult needs for the same effect. 3 whole eggs deliver about 1.5 grams of leucine. Adding 3 ounces of lean chicken, turkey, or slow-cooked steak brings you to the 3-gram threshold without forcing you to eat a heavy plate first thing in the morning. The study that convinced me, published in 2024 by researchers at Tufts University, followed 147 seniors aged 65 to 82 over 6 full months. The group eating 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein at breakfast, with at least 3 grams of leucine per meal, gained an average of 1.4 kilograms of lean mass and improved their leg strength by 11%. The control group, who kept their usual breakfast routine, actually lost lean mass and strength over those same 6 months. Before I share the closing piece of this plan, which of these surprised you the most? Comment below with the number, and I will personally reply to each one directly. Here is what makes this plan powerful when you put all the pieces together in your daily routine. The right foods create a muscle rebuilding window that runs from breakfast through bedtime, with no gap in coverage at all. Here is what happens when you stack these nutrients across the day the right way. Eating whole eggs plus lean protein at breakfast triggers the first muscle protein synthesis burst of the day. Greek yogurt or cottage cheese before bed triggers the second burst while you sleep. Salmon twice a week reduces inflammation that would otherwise slow your progress. Leafy greens quietly restore magnesium that supports every muscle contraction throughout the day. A practical breakfast example could be 2 scrambled eggs cooked in extra virgin olive oil with 3 ounces of smoked salmon on the side and a half cup of sautéed spinach with sliced tomato. A practical lunch example might be grilled chicken breast over a bed of dark leafy greens dressed with olive oil and fresh lemon, plus a small portion of quinoa or sweet potato. A practical dinner example could be roasted salmon with steamed broccoli and a baked sweet potato, finished with a small handful of walnuts for healthy fats. This sort of pattern, applied consistently week after week, is what reverses sarcopenia over months, not single weeks. Your body responds to repeated signals, not single meals that come and go. A few important safety warnings before you put this plan into action. If you have kidney disease, liver disease, or a history of gout, adding extra protein or eggs requires a careful conversation with your doctor first. If you take blood thinners like warfarin, sudden large increases in leafy greens can affect your dosage, so please coordinate closely with your healthcare provider. If you are allergic to eggs, you can still apply the leucine threshold using chicken, turkey, or cottage cheese instead, and the plan still works. Always consult your healthcare provider before making any major change to your diet, especially if you take prescription medication or live with any chronic illness. Watch carefully for digestive discomfort during the first 2 weeks on this plan. If bloating, cramping, or unusual fatigue appears, scale back, listen to your body, and consult a professional before continuing. You now have the knowledge that most seniors spend decades of their lives without ever hearing. Muscle loss is not an inevitable life sentence. It is a reversible condition when you give your body the right raw materials day after day. You do not have to accept weakness as your future. You do not have to accept one more fall as normal. And you do not have to accept losing the simple activities that make life worth living. From hugging your grandchildren to carrying your own groceries home. The whole egg, the omega-3 rich fish, the slow-digesting full-fat dairy, the dark leafy greens, and the strategic breakfast pattern are tools you can begin using tomorrow morning. Comment one of 3 things below so I can support you directly. Comment done if you are ready to try the egg and leucine breakfast tomorrow. Comment scared if you have been watching your body decline for years and need encouragement to start today. Comment question if anything in this video was still unclear. Subscribe to this channel and hit the bell because next week I will share the exact 7-minute resistance routine that pairs perfectly with the nutrition plan you learned today. Every senior who applies both will see results within a few short weeks, and I do not want you to miss that important follow-up video. If this video helped you, share it with one person you love who needs this information. You might honestly save their life. Start tomorrow morning. 2 whole eggs. A small portion of lean protein, greens on the side. Your muscles are listening and they have been waiting for you to act.